post this in channel as well. Live in YouTube. Okay, cool. So let's check the issues first. In Picom. Actually, yes, it's behind the upstream, but it could be automatically merged. So let's merge. Merged. Okay, this is the first step, and let's pull it in here as well. What? Okay, this is oh, I forgot to merge it. Confirm merge. Okay. Then now it should update. Okay, cool. So let's check out the issues first. Not triggered when opening some windows. Add wobbles. I know these ones. Let's skip those. Awesome, yeah. Okay, I probably could not update it. Alright. So now I will try to fix this issue first. For example, if I open Picom and in the sample config file, let me just show it from here. So for previous tag animation is minimize, but if you can see the animation, for example, let me put this here. Instead of going to center of this monitor, it pops out to center of all monitors. So whatever monitors you have, it automatically goes to here. That should be the first issue to fix. So these codes are in probably source and I think x.c, because they are using xrender. Yes, so here is the place where it updates the monitors, and there's probably another function called, let me just check it, because this is updated now. Not x update monitors, this updates the monitor configurations, and not here too. Let's just check mon. It may not be in here, we will see. Yes, it's not in here. Then it is probably in, this is how Picom organizes stuff. Yes, it's in here, win underscore update monitor. So in here it sets current Windows monitor to -1. This is probably a little bit different than the original Picom because I've changed it, if I remember correctly. Let's try to check the difference between them. So in original Picom, they are just using it to find the cross sections of several windows because it doesn't have any animation included. But in my fork, that is not the case, because I am trying to find where the center of the monitor is to handle the animations correctly. Update monitor is this function. So let's try to check the difference between them. Let me just this in here. So difference between these are both of them sets the monitors to -1 because it will probably make a for loop. It goes into a for loop. Then if I'm just telling this if anyone is curious about X or Pixman. So this Pixman region 32 extends gets a monitor region, and this auto E is probably a Pixman box, and this uses a constant region of a struct, and in struct there are two variables, number of rects. This means that number of rectangles and the size of it. So for example in here this is probably 1 to 1. There is just one rectangle and one size, we will see. So in here it does a comparison in the original Picom. Let me know if my sound is not good. So in original Picom it checks the monitor's regions and it compares it with the windows. So for example this E to X1 means that current monitor start position, for example here, and Windows starting X position. So for example if, let's assume if this was the window that encountered this function, it tries something like this. It tries to find the current monitor's X1. So for example it starts here, and if it's smaller than or equal to Windows starting position, so here this is correct, then the first if statement passes, and it checks for the other options as well, for example Y and the other coordinates. Always remember it always starts from the left top. So this is X1, this is X2, this is Y1, and this is Y2. It always starts from top to bottom. So in original Picom they try to just see where the window resides in the monitor, but I probably did a different thing here. So in this comparison, actually because of the merge, these two are probably the same now. Yes, they are. So in E to X2, if current windows X and its width is greater than or equal to X2, so this means that this window is entirely located in this monitor. So this is probably not correct for animation fork, I think. I will just check what did it look like before the merge. So let me just hide it for now, hide this for now, and let's go to my fork now. Actually I could probably check it from Git, but let's just try to check it from here. So I should probably check for my commits instead of merge ones. So these are all merged. Let's check out older. These are still merged. Still merge. Actually, let me just try to check it from here. So merge. These are all merged. Okay. Then I will do something like this. So there is another branch that I've been working on. So it's probably general animation. In here I will check the same function again. So win.c and update monitor. Yes, this is the a different one. So this just checks if a monitor start position is smaller than or equal to a window start position, and its end position is greater than or equal to monitor start position and plus its width. This is probably more correct, and as a difference, for example, this just sets the current monitor to I in here instead of setting them in at this start. I think this is a more correct behavior, because otherwise it will update the monitor first, then the animation will come and everything will collapse, I think. So I will delete the statements here and let it stay like this. And the thing is, it is not that important if it's fully on the current monitor, because some issues can occur, like for example, if the animation is started and for example if you do this fast, it will probably collapse. What I mean is, for example, this animation minimizes towards the center, and if you do it fast, it will go in this function again, and for example it's y2 and the other y could be in different places, so I will probably only check the statement of x instead of looking for both of them. At least I will try it like that now. So this seems okay now, and the other things seems exactly the same. Okay, so instead of comparing vice as well, I will delete this here. I will just check this x statements instead of comparing vice, and I will probably try it like this for now, and it just returns if it's found or not. Okay, let's try it like this. So if this is correct now, for example, if I open several windows, let me just actually slow the animation a little bit as well, so that you can see what's going on. So for example, let's go and let's reduce tag change animation to, for example, 50. This is still a bit fast. Let's go at 20. Yes. So for example, if you can see now, instead of going into center of this monitor, it goes to left of it. Actually, let me just close fading as well, so it won't fade until it's finished. This should be false too. So if you can see now, these windows are going to center of my both monitors. I'm using double monitors, and the correct option will be going to the center instead of going to the center of both monitors. Let's continue. So let me just make this now. Blah blah. Okay. And instead of my Picom, I will use the Picom in here. Okay, those GL errors are known. This still has the same effect, and all of them are still going to the center of all of the monitors. This is not correct, so I will continue to do this then. Oh, I forgot to save the file probably. No, let me just check this from here one more time. No, this one seems exactly the same. Okay, so there's probably something different than this operation as well. Yes, and it is this. So I shouldn't compare the current position of the window, and I should probably look for where it's going, because it is the position of the animation that will continue to go. So instead of g.x, I should go with pending g.x and pending g.x here. Let's try it like this. So let me build again, and let's try it like this. No, it's still going to the other side. Okay, then this is not the issue. Let me just check one more time. Pending g.x and this, yes, this seems correct. Then there's probably another issue. Let me just try to check it, and I will actually just try to check it by switching the branch. Let me just add without committing. Let me just commit to. I will amend this commit. Okay, no problem. So update win update monitor. So this looks pretty much the same to me. To render monitor, to render monitor. Then there is probably another issue, and I will check it by doing a different thing. So I will just copy this repo to TMP. Let me just move myself. So I will copy the whole repository to here. Okay, then I will try to find the difference between both files. So let me just do something like, do I have melt? Yes. So win.c here and win.c there. So files are, yes, of course, identical, because we need to check out to origin next here. And let's do this again. So this is not mask image, this is not prop desktop. Yes, I have added this, that's correct. Init animation are different. This could be the issue. So what have I done is I've just checked if the render monitor is, if it's -1, then I've initiated called update monitor to, because if it's -1, then it is probably not correct. Okay, and I found the center location of the monitors here, and I get the region from current window. Okay, that seemed same to me. And Win should animate. This could be maybe it. So this is just commented actually. So this is the original one, the general animation, and this is the fork one. Okay, these are just syntax corrections. Win update monitor. Okay, so this is probably because of the code change in Picom. Okay, these are not important. If window is focused, okay, these are not important as well. Property desktop, this updates the desktop of it. Okay, that's not important as well. This is not important as well. This is not. Let's go on. Setting days are not important. Actually, let's just try to check, for example, pending here. Okay, if are these just syntax differences, just spaces? Yes. Okay, so these are the places where it creates issues. So in here, I've just checked. This is the original one. Why is this here? I think I updated them. I think I updated them. Update monitor. Yes. Why still containing here? I just need to check access here. I thought I deleted this. Okay, whatever. So it should be like this. Let's try again, and this was deleted if I remember correctly. Yes, okay, so let me just make this, then try again. Okay, this is still not working correctly because at least one of them is. So for example, if you can see the animations now, for example, the one starting here, okay, this is a bug. I should probably solve that as well. This one is going to left, which is wrong, but these three are going to current monitor center position. This is correct, but this one is wrong. So we should probably fix that, but we are going in correct way. So this is looking good. This could probably be happening because of the margins and the borders here. I am not sure. I will try to check it as well, but I am not totally sure about that. So this states that, actually I think I changed these to pending. Let's try pending again. So pending, pending g.x and pending g.x. Let's try it like this one more time. So make, actually let's wipe this and let's build it again, and let's check what we have changed. Yes, okay, it's pending now. So let's make this one more time and let's build it. Okay, if we do it pending, this doesn't work correctly. So while it was like this, I will probably try one pending and the other one with the current position. Actually, I'm not sure, but yes, I will try like that. So make one more time and build one more time. Okay, if we do it like this, this doesn't work correctly at all. So exit, and I will change this to current position as well. Now if we make and if we run this, okay, this is still not working correctly. It was working correctly 1 second ago. What happened? Okay, let's try it one more time. Okay, this is weird. So I'm pretty sure this is what we have done. but it broke again. So let me just revert the changes and try one more time. So if this is the case, set the render monitor to I and continue. So there could be, what could be the issue? So if monitor start position is smaller than start position of this, let's try it one more time. So make and build. Let me open just two. Okay, this was working correctly sometimes, but it is not working correctly now. So what could be the issue? Let me just try it like this. Okay. By the way, I don't see any comments. Let me just refresh the page. Yeah, okay, so there is no comments right now. If someone is watching, just feel free to ask about Picom if you are curious. Okay, this is not working correctly. Then let's try another way. So close Picom and let's do something like this. So in win.c, this did not work correctly. What was the other ones thing? Okay, like this. I will check the other branch as well. So there is two branches and I will check the next branch. So source and win.c. Okay. And update monitor is not existent here. Okay, this could be an older branch. So this did not work well, and I'm not sure why that is, but I will try to check something like this. So in x.c, I will try to check how these monitors are created, because that could maybe the issue. So in here we are at next branch, and in here we are in general animation branch. So let me just move these. So x update render monitors, and I will check the same function here. Okay, it's using different names, no problem. So get monitors lengths, and make a for loop. Put I, x, y, width and height. Okay, this seems pretty straightforward. Then this is not the issue. Okay, we will probably need to change something in win.c. So let me check how this win.c works. So monitor. So omega to render monitor if it's -1. It updates the monitors first in init animation. So let's go to init animation function here. So if init animation. Okay, so if it's -1, we are here. It updates monitors. This is the old one. This is the new one. So it updates the monitor, and after that it tries to check if it's -1 or not. So if it's -1, it enters here again, and it takes the region here and finds the center of the monitors by dividing root width. Okay, so I think each time it is probably bouncing here and using root width to divide, because otherwise it should go here and find the center of the monitor if it's not -1. Probably it stays -1 for most of the time. So let's just try to do something like this. Let's put a 1 here, and let's just go root center found here, and in Picom warning level something. Okay, it's already on one. So let's just build this again, because I really suspect it's just bouncing off here there. And let's start Picom again. Okay, root center found. So for example, if I change it, will it pop out here again? Yes. And for example, in here there is an issue like this. For example, there is 1, 2, 3 windows here now, and if I switch to a desktop which only have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blah blah something, it always goes to there, and it couldn't find the correct position of the monitor. It always pops out here probably, and let's try to make a warning here now. You can find all of my dot files in a GitHub repository. Let me just send a link. I have one private one, but public one is open as well. So it is right here. By the way, if you were curious about dot files, I can show you something cool if you want from my private dot files. Just let me know if you are curious. Okay, so if it's here, let's just pop out monitor found, and let's make it again. Yes, as you can see, it never goes to monitor center found now. Okay, so in dot files there is a huge issue. So for example, if I create a GitHub repository here and just check out the status of Git, it will show out like 1 million files, because your home obviously have lots of files, hundreds of files, and to be able to use your dot files as a GitHub repository, that's obviously not the way to do it. So for example, this just took like several gigabytes now. So to be able to do that, you need to create a GitHub repository that is a bare GitHub repository. So bare means that it's still a Git repository, but the file of it is actually different. So if I do ls-a, there is a folder called .cfg here. This is actually the .git file of my dot files. So if I just go into that, as you can see, this holds all of the GitHub objects here. But this is still not works correctly, because even if you do it like that, for example, if you write git status, just think of this as git status for now, it will still show all of the files. So you need to make an alias like this if you want to do this like this. But I've changed this, and how I changed this is like this. So for example, if you just go to Google and write how to make dot files repository, it will probably pop out the Atlassian page, and this is the correct way to do it by default. If you check the alias of this one, this uses a different option. By different option, I mean something like this. It uses show untracked files no. So if you do that, and for example, I don't know, for example in NeoVim, if you add a new file, actually I'm using NeoVim, so let me just use someplace else. So this is added in my repository now. By default, if you, for example, create a new file here, something called like this, and go with status, it won't show the file that you have created, because it doesn't know this file exists because of that option. But if, let me just remove that file for now. After changing the option, and if you go to vim config and just delete here, if you do dot status for now, this one will work correctly. But to be able to do this, you need to make some tweaks. For example, if I add a new file here now, like called like this, and if I go with status, this will show the newly added file, the correct way of vim how git works. But to be able to do this, you need to create a weird git ignore file, and this could actually make you cancel a bit. Just copy paste from mine if you want. So you use some globs and you add whatever you don't want to include, and if you do it like this, even if you create a new file in your some of the folders, it will automatically take them correctly, and you can just continue using like git, and it will see every change without any issues. It will always, for example, it will know the SSH configurations as well. And by doing this, you can do some nice things like this. For example, I just have a place called, for example, backup and credentials here. And for example, if I just go to a new Linux and I don't have, I don't know, maybe my GPG key, I just go here and all of my keys are included in there. So if I just go to, for example, here and credentials, all of my keys are included here, and I just import this key like this. And by doing this, you won't ever need to change your GitHub SSH key, or I don't know, some other keys that you use for GPG or other things as well. You just open up a new Linux and just clone the repository. That's it. It's really cool and easy. If anyone has any questions, just go on and ask. I will try to help if I know the answer. Okay, so it did not go to here. So then we will try to check where it sets the monitor. So if this goes to here, it updates the monitor. And it's the animation. But this did not work correctly. And this init animation is called in here and here. Okay, so this starts if the monitor is not, if it's equal to -1, so if no monitor is attached, it tries to update the monitor. And it takes an integer. Okay, so I forgot which branch was this. Okay, this is the old branch, and this is the original branch. So in here, what does this function takes? And the pointer of the window. Okay, so it goes to here, and I will just change this to warm, because I have suspects that it's not going on in here. And update monitor, in this function I've just checked the difference of these ones, and this is not here. Okay, so let's make this and try again. Okay, these are still not working correctly, and it never goes to here. Let's make a warning here again and update monitor code. Let's just make this. Okay, this definitely gets called lots of times. So 30, 33, yes, but it never goes to here. Why is that? So this just checks the start position of the monitor and the window. If we change this to this and change this one to this as well, let's try to check it this way. And this also includes borders. Okay, make again and build again. Oops. Okay, this is weird because we did not have had any warnings again. So it never goes to here if we do it this way. And if the ending position is bigger than here, alright, then I will just do something like this. So let's make a warn here again, and so what is the variable type of this? So managed window. Okay, G, or something called G. So where is that G? Omega dot x, maybe it's just an integer, so mod 1 x1, it is probably an integer, x2 integer as well, y1 and y2. Let's try. So m omega dot x g dot x omega dot g dot x plus g dot width plus border width. Let's do it like that. Would be, and these should be arrows. So start position plus its width and its y position and its y position plus its height b. Okay, let's try this like that now, and let's put a new line here as well. Okay, so okay, so these are start of the monitor position, and these are just using the root width and root height. So this 3190 means that, for example, my monitor in the left is 2560 by 1440. So this means that, for example, this starts at, for example, this is probably this window, I assume now, so it should be greater than 2560. Probably. Okay, what the hell is this? This is weird. So it should be greater than 2560. Yes, this is probably this window. So this states that, let's just try to check. this window starts at 2568 and ends at 4177. And if we just go and check xprop of this, so this has a size of 1225. So if we just try to subtract these two, this states that this has the size of 2609. Then this seems to be not correct. I had a program that measured distances, but I don't remember the name of it. Let's try to do something like this. So if I just try to take a screenshot here, and if I go in and select an area, let's call this TMP, and if I took it like this, then if I just go to pictures, it should be called TMP, yes. So, and if I just do actually, let's just go with file, do this here. Yes, this seems to be correct, because if we subtract this from this, we nearly achieve the same size, yes. So this is the window, and its y starts at 67 and at set blah blah something. This is not important for us as well. So then it seems that we are having a weird issue here because of probably this. Then let's try to check that as well. So if I copy this and do something like this, so this should be, let's just quote this with equal signs, and instead of m omega, now I will go for the region. So e dot x1, and this should be the monitor start and end position, so e to x2 and e to y1 and e to y2. Now we will see how this one works. Okay, where is our equal signs? Okay. Do we have 0 monitors? So let's try to check it. So total mons and monitors to count. This is weird, so make and run. Yes, we have 0 monitors. That is what why we are having that issue. So if monitors are wrongly fetched, it should be in x.c and it should be in this function. So this function is probably not getting called correctly, and we will try to check that. Let's just try to find where this function is called. So x update monitors. Okay, this is the issue. So this states that if render exists and this option is enabled, but this option is not important for animations, and it should be like this. So let's try to check it this way now. Okay, we have a step now. So if you can see, this window goes to center of the monitor now. Only this one is not working correctly. we just have a small issue now, and that is probably causing because of the border and maybe the gap in here. Let's try to check it. So this is probably the start position of the monitor and end position of the other one. Okay, nice. So if we remove this and try to check this one more time, we will find the issue. And I am thinking it could probably have something to do with these pending operations. So instead of using pending, if we try to use G again, let's see what difference this will make. Okay, this is working correctly now. After some testing, this will be the new update. If someone has questions, feel free to ask. So there is a small issue that I've just saw, but it's because the animations are probably too slow. Okay, this is done, and we can delete this log now. Okay, I will have a small break then come. Feel free to ask if you have any questions about what we have done. So important issue is handled. Now let's check it one more time. So make and run. Okay, this seems fine, and let's update. Actually, let me just revert the changes in Picom and let's see it fast. Oh, I am running the wrong Picom now. Okay. This seems fine to me now. Actually, some of them are still going to left. Why is that happening? Let's try pending one more time. Oops, I forgot to make. Okay, it's still. It is still. Seems to be having a small issue. That will probably delay it until the next live session, I think. So let me just make and build and try again. Yes, some of them are still going to the wrong position, and I think that happens when an animation is going on, probably. So if, let's try something like this. Yes, if the animation is ended, it works correctly. But if it's on the middle of the animation, it works incorrectly sometimes, like this. So if it's finished, it works correctly, but if it's on the middle of the animation, it has a small issue. So that probably starts somewhere in here, that issue, because it's still animating, and that will probably need a check. And how will that check be? So in here we are just checking that, but if the animation is not finished, it does not work correct sometimes. Let me just try to catch it. Yes. When it's in the middle of the animation, for example, the window comes from the center of the other monitor, it tends to make a small step, and that should probably be checked within here. So instead of the current position, pending position should be checked. And how should that one be handled? Let's try pending one more time, and maybe this will fix it. Okay, if it's done pending, it does not work correctly at all, because it depends on the previous and the next animation. And in its animation, that should be handled more properly to fix the issue. And I will just try to comment here and try one more time. So make and build. Okay, this works a bit better now, but still, if the animation is not finished, it still goes to the center of the other monitor. This is still not correct. It pops, and I will try this one more time because I am curious, does it goes to the center of, yes, it goes to the center of, for example, if it can see it, entirely on blah blah. It checks it. So instead of checking the start position of the window, probably checking the end position makes more sense. So if this is correct, and or this instead of ends, maybe this will fix the issue. So build. Okay, if this is done, it automatically goes wrong because it will always kind of be correct. Then something could be done like this maybe. So if this is correct, or this is smaller than or equal to the pending position of the other window, and let's just make it for this one as well, just to be sure. So if this or this is greater than or equal to pending position plus the width of the window. Okay, why is this popping out an error? Is this or yes, it should be like this. And this or this. Okay, this is the issue. Let's try it one more time. Okay. Now I think it's working without any issues. Yes. Okay. This is a good patch now. Alright then. Yes. Okay. So this is the end of today's session, guys, and this should be debug. We've handled a nice issue, so we should add commit and multi-monitor desktop switch fixed as a commit, and you should push this to origin next, and it's switch origin next or something like that. How to set head to current commit. Let's check out this. let's just do something like this. So this commit, we push and head off like this. Let's just see from here. Oops. Okay. With set heads, I don't remember this. This is something like this. Let's check out. Oops. Oh yes, this. It says head detach. Okay, I really suck at guitar. No. Okay, something like this. Okay, cool. And let's just check in GitHub now. Alright, this seems fine. Then we will go to package build, Picom, and update the version and package file. Then go to repo and repo add Picom if let's go to release and let's add Picom animations Alright guys, this is it for today's coding session. So see you guys probably in 1 or 2 days. Take care everyone.